everyone, Dan Tortora here with you for another edition of The Light Between Us, proudly presented by Chick-fil-A Cicero on 7916 Brewerton Road in Cicero, New York, here on WakeUpCall with Dan Tortora. And of course, you know, in The Light Between Us, we tell the stories of the incredible team members here at Chick-fil-A Cicero and the positivity that they bring, the faith that they bring, and the goodness that they bring to our Central and Upstate New York community and beyond. Today I'm here with Mia Bella. Mia, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Shake your hand, right? So, Mia, I said it off the air, but Mia Bella, to me, sounds like the perfect naming of like an Italian restaurant. It sounds like it comes off the tongue easy, beautiful name. Have you said to mom and dad thanks?
Yeah. I do love it.
You love your name? Yeah. Okay. So did they tell you why they chose Mia?
So actually my mom took two names from a baby book and just mashed them together to create Mia Bella. That's my full first name.
So his full first name is Mia Bella. Okay.
Yep.
So what's your last name?
Bersani.
Bersani. Are you related to Anthony Bersani?
I am.
Okay, I went to school with Anthony. Shout out to you, Anthony. So yeah, I actually went to school with him back at Christian Brothers Academy.
Okay, I think I did go there. Yeah, my uncle Bersani. Yeah.
So he's your uncle?
Yes.
Anthony.
Yeah.
So, Anthony, we're 115 years old. I mean, that's what it feels like right now. So, tell me something about your uncle. I want to put Anthony on the hot seat right now.
Well, he has a kid and he recently got married.
Yes.
So, and now he's got two other kids from her side. He does a lot with computers. I was going to call him to fix mine, but didn't, so.
Good to know. I got some computer stuff I got to call him about, though.
Yeah.
So being a Bersani, being an Italian, you know, I share that heritage as well. I'm Italian and Hispanic. What's your favorite part of being part of an Italian family?
Well, we used to always have every single family member over for dinners, like almost every Sunday.
Sunday sauce.
Yes. With my great-grandmother, it was great. And then once she passed away, we started doing like less and less, but it was like Christmas and Thanksgiving, and we would just have big family gatherings. It's got less, but usually we do go visit because everyone moved away. Like North Carolina, South Carolina, Florida, like everyone's dispersed. Yeah. But we do try still to have those big family gatherings. Those have to be my favorite parts, just when we all get together.
Yeah, it's the Sunday sauce.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it's literally Italians treating normal life like a holiday all the time.
Yep.
How important are those memories for you in creating new ones to have essentially not just getting together for Christmas and Easter, but getting together all the time?
Honestly, I really want to try and do it more, but it is kind of hard with everybody having their new life. But I hope soon we'll be able to do it again.
Yeah, I agree. So what brought you here? How'd you get to Chick-fil-A Cicero?
Well, I worked, this was really my first real job, I guess, because I worked at the fair one summer, and then after that I had water, lemonade, ice cream.
Okay. I worked at the grandstand, which used to be the concert series thing, so that's why I asked him.
It was kind of old.
We both worked at the fair.
Yeah.
How old were you when you worked at the fair?
I want to say like 16, I think.
Okay. I was 14. I don't know. I think you can work at 14. If you can't,
I think at the fair they can.
You can.
Like they have.
I think at the fair you can work if you're 8.
Probably.
So you're working at the fair.
Yeah, I was working at the fair.
And you got here because
I was applying to a lot of jobs, and I saw Chick-fil-A, and my Mimi was like, you should apply to there, like they're hiring all the time. And I'm like, okay. So I put in an application, and then I get an interview with Jimmer, and I'm like, oh, okay. So I go, and literally, like during the interview, I was a little nervous, and I know he could tell, but he was like, oh, don't worry, I'm gonna hire you. But then he kept asking me questions, so I'm taken aback, because I'm like, I'm hired? Like, wait. But so after that, I got my uniform, and I just started working, and I haven't stopped. I've been here for 2.5 years, I think.
2.5 years?
2.5, yep.
So early on in the interview, he's like, I'm gonna hire you.
I think it was halfway through because I was really nervous because I was fidgeting with my hands like I tend to do when I'm nervous. But I was really nervous, and he was just like, don't worry, I'm gonna hire you. And I was like, I just looked at him like, oh, because I was taken aback. But yes, that is what happened.
Did he tell you why he hired you?
I don't even remember. It was so long ago, 2 years ago, but I think he did. I think he did go on about. I think he goes on. I can't remember. Okay, yeah, I can't.
Why do you think he would hire you?
I have like spunk, I guess. Not spunk, but like I have like a good attitude towards most things, and I'm able to handle things pretty well.
So your attitude,
Yeah,
high positive person?
I try.
Where does all that come from? Where does the positive attitude come from, especially in a world that seems to love negative news?
So, I'm not gonna lie, like, I used to be very negative, but I, like, realized that early on that it's like, okay, I shouldn't be, like, because that just hurts me. If I'm, like, thinking bad and I'm thinking negative, that just hurts me. So I started, if I get upset or, like, if I have negative thoughts, I usually talk to, like, a friend, my boyfriend, or, like, maybe my mom or my Amy, and just get those feelings out, and then, yeah, it's done.
Well, how old are you now?
18.
So you're 18 years old and you figured out that being negative is not good and that it only hurts you. It's like drinking poison every day.
That's what my mom used to tell me too. So kind of with the repeated, like, what she would always tell me, every time I get upset, she'd be like, it's only gonna hurt you, it's only gonna hurt you. And I used to be like, oh, shut up. Like, that's not true. But it is, because I realized it really is. Because I would always be like angrier. Like every time I would hold on to it and I would be angrier like day by day until I finally just like talked about it, let it out. It's like, okay, I shouldn't have been that angry.
So what would you say to someone who is negative and has those negative emotions, the anger and all that? I mean, would you suggest like, hey, find someone you trust and get it out?
As long as you know you can trust them fully, yes.
If you feel like you don't have someone you can trust, how would you tell them to get it out?
Honestly, screaming to your pillow, it's just the little stuff. Like it's not like hurting anybody. If you just scream into your pillow, I used to do that. It helps. I don't know. That's just my thing though. I used to do that all the time because it would help me get everything.
Do you ever like pray or take that time?
I used to. I'm getting back into it. It kind of got lost a little bit I had a rough patches for a few years with moving between homes and like a bunch of stuff, but I'm getting back into it.
So you talk about the rough patches. What happened? Like, what was that adversity?
Okay, so we were living at this one house, and I woke up, or my mom woke me up at 3 in the morning, probably, because I thought I heard a cup drop. Our house got shut back in, like, I don't know, but our house, but my mom almost died, like the pole was this far from our bed, so we then had to move out and been living at my grandmother's ever since. And so it's been really hard to, like, because there's barely any room in the house, it's been really hard ever since to, like, just coexist and, like, focus on what you need to focus on. Everyone's in there. It's like my mom, me, my little brother, my little sister, my Mimi, and then my stepdad. All of us in that tiny house. So, yeah.
I mean, going through something. I mean, you get woken up in the middle of the night, woken up in the middle of the night. I mean, you're delirious, right? You know, you think like, oh, a cup drop, like you said. Going through that all, I mean, how has it brought your family closer? How has it, I mean, that's a moment where literally anything can happen, like you said, with your mom being so close to you.
I mean, I do talk to them more. I didn't, before all that, I did not. I was very closed off, and I think that's really what helped me realize that, like, anger, you gotta talk about it. You know, you gotta talk to someone, talk to anyone. And praying, yes, I have started doing that, but it's gonna take a little while to get back into it.
So you go through that adversity. What did that teach you?
Cherish your loved ones. And also, stay up every night before you go to bed because you do not know what's going to happen.
And you said going through this adversity that you stopped praying for a little bit.
Yeah.
What brought you back?
Well, I got out of high school, and I've been actually working here has taught me that, like, because what happened when like the whole thing with the house, I stopped really not believing in God, but I was angry at him for almost letting my mother, like letting that happen to my family. That's kind of what I thought. And I was 15, 14 at the time, so, you know. But now that I'm out of high school, and I'm like, okay, that was a little childish. It's not anybody's fault, really. That was just, I don't even know. That was just random. But, what was the question?
No, just how you got back into praying.
Okay.
But you did mention a huge point there, which is most people blame God and forget that people have free will.
Yeah. But, I mean, I got back into it because my grandmother, I've been living with her, and she has me go to church almost every Sunday, and I've been trying to. So I'm going to start going more, but I just think, I don't know, I just think it's going to help me.
Well, I love your coat.
Like, mental.
So for you, like you said, I mean, going through all of this, you've gotten more back into praying. You said you realized it was childish to blame God and whatnot. So what would you say to someone who goes through a hardship and they're like, well, it's God's fault, and they start thinking the way that you thought? What would you say to them?
That's kind of hard, because if they're anything like me, and if I tried to tell someone like, well, it's not his fault, like, you know, I would have been like, oh yes it is, like I would have been so stubborn about it. So it's kind of hard to, because most people will be stubborn about it. And to be honest, like, they're gonna be like, well, I think it is his fault, like why did this happen, like it wouldn't have happened, blah, blah. But I just had a really good point.
You'll find it. God will bring it back to you, I promise. You know, we were talking about, you said most people, you were stubborn.
Yes.
You feel like some people would be stubborn.
Let time pass. I'm gonna be honest. Just let time pass, because if it's meant to be found again, it'll be found again.
So you've learned so much of these things. You've been here for 2.5 years. What have you learned from Jimmer Szatkowski, the owner-operator of Chick-fil-A Cicero?
He's going through such like a hard time, and yet he's still like, he keeps his head up. He is so kind. I don't know how he does it. I'm gonna be honest. I admire him for it. I really do. Because he's just so happy all the time. He's uplifting everybody else while he's going through like so much. I really admire him.
And you said you don't know how he does it, but with everything that you've been through, and you blame God, and then you see that he does it, does that even like push you even more so to maybe get closer to God?
Because he's still so, he's just, I'm gonna be honest, Jimmer's amazing. I don't even know what else to say. I get nervous about it, so I apologize.
No, you're okay. I mean, what is it about him when you say he's so awesome? I mean, what is it about the day-to-day of like coming into work at Chick-fil-A Cicero and seeing
He's
him?
in every single day without fail. He is always in here watching, making sure we're doing everything we're supposed to. And like, he's got like, he's like really like strong. I don't know how to like word it. Strong-willed.
He doesn't give up.
No, he does not give up, and I love that. I do. I love that. He's genuinely, because I've watched him, like, because I was here when he was still able to like talk and like move a little bit,
Yeah.
and now seeing now, and it's like you're still the same person. I remember that. He's still the same person that I had that interview with 2.5 years ago, and it's really amazing to see that he just hasn't let like anything bring him down.
Well, if I can share, I mean, I met him over 5 years ago, and the man that I met that was walking and talking and standing and running around and doing all that stuff, he's the same person today to me that he was then. Like, his facial, like he can make a facial expression and I hear so many things. And I think one of the beauties that I'm so grateful for, like you said, you never know what's going to happen in life, is that every time on the show on Wake Up Call, Monday through Friday from 9 to 11, worldwide, Chick-fil-A Cicero's commercial plays. And the commercial is his voice. And we recorded it right over here at one of the booths, so I still hear his voice every day. So like if anybody ever wants to hear it, you can always go back to it. And You know, so I mean, like you said, seeing his fight and his leadership and everything he's done. Do you have anybody in your family that you think is also a mentor to you that you're like, wow, I see this person and if I'm having a bad day, they just bring me up?
I want to say my mom, even though we butt heads a lot, like we're the same person, so we do fight a lot. But she is one of the people I do look up to.
What's your mom's first name?
Amelia.
Amelia. What do you want to say to Amelia?
Well, I love you, Mom, even though we fight all the time.
She's an Italian mom and you're an Italian daughter.
Yep.
So.
But I still love you no matter what we say to each other. I really do.
So you're here, you're doing your thing, and Chick-fil-A is not your typical place. It's not just a chicken sandwich. It's not just a transactional, here's some food and get out of here. What is it about Chick-fil-A that you just feel warms the heart for you, for the guests? Like, what's the Chick-fil-A experience like, from your opinion?
Okay. If I didn't work here, so I'm gonna be a guest.
Yeah, you're gonna be a guest.
So usually at other fast food places, it's the quick like, oh, like what do you want? Oh, this, then go. For Chick-fil-A, I like to ask how's their day going? And like, oh, what can I get for you? And then for dining room, if you're on dining room, I'm asking for refills. Sometimes I take people's trays when they're done. It's like, it's just, Jimmer always says not the fourth, second mile. I was supposed to memorize this. Second mile service? It's like going the second mile, going beyond.
Going beyond the extra mile.
Yep. That's what I like about this. If I were to work at any other place, I think I'd still do the stuff I do at Chick-fil-A because it just brightens people's day, and I see it.
I think once you learn it, you feel like any other service is like subpar.
Oh, because I go to like McDonald's and Taco Bell, and it's like, you guys are treating me so bad compared to Chick-fil-A. Like,
It's different.
yeah.
It's a different experience. So, being here 2.5 years, what do you see? Like, where do you see yourself going with this?
That's really hard because at one point I did want to be like a team lead and like maybe, progress to be a manager. But I am looking to go to college in the fall of 2025. So I think I am going to have to because the thing about, I don't have a hard time multitasking. It's just, it's going to take a minute to work towards that leader position. And I'd rather focus on like my school. You know what I mean?
What do you want to study?
Well, I'm going for criminal justice.
Criminal justice. All right. So what are we going to do with that?
Honestly, I was thinking about a cop because that's really what it is, but I'm not even so sure about that.
Okay. But something in criminal justice.
Yes.
Why criminal justice?
I've always liked things about the law, and I know criminal justice isn't detective stuff, but that has interested me as well.
Yeah.
And I know if I do get into criminal justice, I can always find a job similar to what I've been interested in, like detectives, like crime scenes. Criminal justice is just a step up from that.
Yeah. And service to others from Chick-fil-A would help you in that job too. And we definitely need the help in New York State. So, we need help in New York State. So we're here in the holiday season. I mean, the light between us is timeless. So you could be watching this 3 years from now in May, but when it comes to the holidays, people seem to be nice to each other, right? They tend to do more things for each other. They say, I love you. They get together. What do you want people to, if you could give advice on knowing how the holidays bring people together, Christmas, Easter, this and that, whatever, what can we do to make people act like the holidays every day and not just be really, really nice for a couple days? Bring them to Chick-fil-A.
Bring them to Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, with all this positive.
Also, I was told this once. You don't know what they're rude to me. It's never being rude to someone that's rude to you never works out in your favor. It's just hurting both of you at that point, because I would rather spread like kindness to like someone that's upset and like being rude to me than be rude back. I don't know what advice I'm trying to give right now, but it's like
you be kind to people no matter how they treat you, because if you stoop down to their negativity and their anger and their rudeness,
it's gonna hurt you.
that's what people don't get, is paying somebody back is actually kind of stabbing yourself back.
I've learned that over the years.
So you're learning, you're growing, you're believing in this positivity and this goodness. What are you most thankful for?
Thankful for my family, because without them I would not be the person I am. I'm thankful for Chick-fil-A, I'm going to be honest, because it became like my second family. I have wonderful friends here, I love them. And I'm just thankful for all, like everything that Chick-fil-A's taught me. Because in the end, I was a much different person before I came here. They taught me a lot of good things, just how to be nicer, how to be like fast, punctual, like everything. It's a really great place to work.
So for you, in closing, with everything that you've been through and being upset with God, finding your way back, what would you tell somebody right now that's upset with God or struggling?
Now
Maybe
you
they
might be
don't
able to just jack up the spare on it.
Yeah, but it's going to jack down to this point. It's bad. Thank you.
I'm sure your mom has a jack at your house too.
Go out there, find him, or at least try to find him, than to never know him at all. Because never knowing him at all
It'll
is...
take probably 2 minutes to do it.
I'm sorry, I'm really trying to like...
Oh, that was incredible. It's better to go out and see God than to never know Him at all.
And then you have 2 good wheels on
I don't think somebody that's 80 years old could get better at this.
You know what I mean?
Mia Bella, she's going to open a restaurant someday with that. Mia Bella Bersani, myself, Dan Tortora. This is The Light Between Us, right here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, proudly presented by Chick-fil-A Cicero. Come and visit us at 7916 Brewerton Rd in Cicero, New York. And as I always tell you, God bless, no stress, do your best. We'll talk with you soon. Be well. Thanks, man.